right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. I'll introduce myself. My name's Kristin and I am the U.S. Accounts Manager for Joylox. And we are what is considered a femtech or a biotech company. We're based here in Seattle, Washington. We launched in the U.S. 4 years ago, launched outside of the U.S. a few years prior to that. We are an intimate wellness or feminine wellness device company. And we, just in the short time that we have been in existence, we are in over 40 medical offices in the U.S. We are recommended by over 1,000 physicians in the U.S., and we're now registered in 40 countries. So it's been a very, very exciting time in the world of women's healthcare. This is a first-in-class device. It is the very first energy-based device to be given a designation by the FDA. So it's very exciting. And we just got our 18th patent on this one device.
Oh,
so
that's wonderful. Yay.
It's been absolutely phenomenal. We partner with and work with some of the most renowned and influential OBGYNs, urogynecologists, engineers. So it has been so exciting to be a part of this journey. So vFit Gold Plus, just as it states, high-tech solutions for intimate health. And intimate health, it's not just about sex or intercourse. This is pertaining to women's health. Obviously, as we age, going through menopause, hormonal changes, certainly postpartum after we have babies, there are a lot of changes that occur. So really, this device was designed specifically for postpartum and menopausal women in mind. We have actually found that there are actually quite young women in their 20s, for instance, they've not had kids. They are very healthy. Everything should be working great. They're certainly nowhere near menopause, but they're also seeing some negative side effects from medications, and they're actually seeing some great benefits. But overall, this device really is intended for postpartum, peri, and postmenopausal women. So the inspiration for this device was this adorable little boy, Coleman. Colette is his mom. She is our fearless leader, our CEO. And Colette has an incredibly strong background in aesthetics. She actually started a chain of medical spas many years ago, has worked with the most high-tech lasers and aesthetic devices, worked with many engineers. And when she had her son, she knew certain changes would occur. She was prepared for that, but there were some that occurred that she really hadn't anticipated. And in doing her research to find solutions, she was really kind of appalled at how few options are out there that are short of surgery. So she started working with some phenomenal OBGYNs here in the Seattle area, enlisted some engineers that are just the leaders in the field. And it took quite a few years, but through their research and discovery, they have created the vFit Gold Plus. And this is a product that literally has been a game changer for so many women on so many levels. This is Dr. Sarah De La Torre. She is an OBGYN here in Seattle, and she's been instrumental in the creation of the device, conducting many of our studies, both within the U.S. and partnering with physicians outside of the U.S., and she also created our entire intimate care line of products, which we will discuss. So here are our solutions. So this is the device. This is what makes the magic happen. This is a home use device. Obviously, anything that's home use is more convenient for most than an in-office treatment. But certainly during these zany past 2 years, it has been a lifesaver. It's been the only option for so many women to have something that they can use in the safety of their own home. And honestly, definitely through most of these past 2 years, we've all had 10 to 12 minutes 3 times a week that we are home watching Netflix or cat videos on our iPads, whatever we're doing to stay entertained as we're staying home more. But this is designed to be used 3 times per week. Maximum session time is only 12 minutes, and you do that for 6 to 8 weeks. After that, you drop down into maintenance, which is simply 1 to 2 times per week. The efficacy of this device is phenomenal. We will go over some study results here. In terms of the pricing, it is a lot more comfortable for most people than many of the in-office treatments, which can be literally thousands of dollars. So this is a fraction of the cost. That being said, it partners beautifully with those in-office treatments. So if any of you have had or are considering getting O-Shot or Thermiva or Mona Lisa, I mean, there's a variety of great in-office solutions. Using the device in conjunction with an in-office solution will absolutely elevate and maintain those results. So many of our providers actually bundle it. So when their patient gets an in-office treatment, they are sent home with the device. It's essentially their homework. And the feedback we're getting is a huge spike in patient satisfaction. Or maybe you had a treatment a year ago and it was fantastic. It was great, but you're noticing those results. They're diminishing. You're not ready to go ahead and do another session, get on this device. But as a standalone, the results are phenomenal. Financially, it's a lot more comfortable for a lot of people than the in-office treatments. This is absolutely safe. It's non-invasive, non-hormonal, non-surgical. There's zero downtime. It's actually very relaxing. Most women report that it's what they do at bedtime because it helps them to, it's just a very soothing therapeutic treatment. This says fast noticeable benefits in 6 weeks. Really, I think it's more 3 is kind of the norm. 3 weeks, most women report a noted difference. Every once in a while, I'll hear from someone that they'll say, and I noticed a difference in 2 uses. And I think that's fantastic, but I also think it's not quite accurate. I think that might be a bit more of the placebo effect. But that's also great because it has a positive impact on how we feel and our confidence. And 9 out of 10 women experience positive results. And really for a home use non-surgical device, that is phenomenal.
Kristin, it's all right. Also, some of my patients are taking an estriol or estriol and DHA vaginal tablet, cream gel, or suppository, and it's still fine to use it in combination with that as well.
Absolutely. A lot of women will alternate because you're essentially using the device every other day for those first 6 to 8 weeks. After that, you drop down to the maintenance, which again is 1 to 2 weeks. So many women will alternate, but there's no contraindication. You absolutely may stay on your HRT. And for women who are using the patch, which I use, it's totally fine. It doesn't interfere in any of your HRT at all. And it's actually a very nice combination for a lot of women. That being said, we have had some women who have decreased or stopped using certain treatments. That is absolutely something you want to discuss with your healthcare provider anytime you make any kind of changes. But no, it's absolutely fine to do. So the device itself, the technology behind it, it's interesting because it's so simple, but the combination of these 3 modalities is brilliant. I'm going to go ahead and power this on. These LED lights do amazing things. So there's 3 different modalities. There's thermal loading, which is the gentle heat. There's the photobiomodulation, which is a really fun word for LED light therapy. And then there's the sonic vibration. And I'm going to touch on the vibration first, because honestly, it is so easy to have a misconception about what this device does and what it's for. This is not an adult device. It does not have the power or the gusto that a traditional device of that nature would have. The vibration is actually therapeutic. It is part of the treatment. And what it's working in a few ways. When that vibration comes on, it actually engages the pelvic floor muscles. Just naturally, your body is going to react to that mechanical stress of vibration. It is also very gently moving the tissue, and light energy scatters. So by gently toggling or moving that tissue, it's almost a prismatic effect, but it's ensuring a full 360-degree coverage of that light energy that really helps push absorption of the light energy into the tissue. The next modality is the heat, the thermal loading. The longer the device is on, the warmer it gets. The maximum temp is 42 degrees Celsius, which is very comfortable for most women. And that heat is encouraging blood flow. And that increase in blood flow, that's bringing protein and nutrients and oxygen to that tissue. All of that slows down as we age. And then the LED lights, the LED light therapy is phenomenal. And it has been used in wound healing and aesthetics for decades. It was actually created by NASA, which is very exciting. But it has been used in the aesthetics and medical field for decades because it is so effective. It is important that when someone is using a light-based therapy product, that it runs in a wavelength or an energy density that will actually have a positive impact on the tissue that it's treating. And I don't know that anyone will care or ask, but it runs on 662 nanometers, which is optimal for addressing vaginal tissue. So it actually has a physical impact. It's creating ATP. It's helping to actually build collagen and elastin, which we lose as we age. So let's say someone's never had a child, but they experience stress urinary incontinence. They jog, they pee a little and they laugh. They've never had a kid and they're like, this shouldn't be happening. It can happen. SUI, it's not just a pelvic floor muscle issue. It's also a tissue issue. Our tissue itself, we lose collagen and elastin. So maintaining and keeping that tissue healthy is vitally important. And this works in a number of ways. It's increasing natural lubrication. So for women who are menopausal, peri or post, or even taking medications where they're seeing a decrease in natural lubrication and vaginal dryness, it's really uncomfortable. So this helps with natural lubrication. It helps build that tissue, strengthen the tissue, rebuild collagen and elastin. It even helps most women. It increases sensation and arousal. And kind of interesting, this is designed for internal use, obviously based on the shape and size. That's pretty clear. We have a lot of women reporting they're also using it externally. And they'll use it internally one day, externally the next. They just power this on and hold it to the exterior tissue. And we're getting reports of some really tremendous changes. And anecdotally, I'll share with you one of my very, very best friends. She's in her mid-50s, and she had surgery 15, 16 years ago, and she had very extensive scarring. And I harped on her for about 2 years to get a device. And she finally got one. And she started using internally, externally. And she now has to try to find that scar tissue. Wow. So I do hope, yeah, I know, it's amazing. And we actually have a woman, and I want to say she's in Utah, but it might be Colorado. And she's actually a pelvic floor specialist. She is a moderator of a forum for nurse practitioners, thousands of them across the country who are all pelvic floor specialists. And she has also reported she uses it externally and internally. And she actually left a review on our website that's there. It's probably about 6 pages back by now, but it is phenomenal. So I do hope at some point we will have some studies and data to actually support these claims. This is anecdotal, but we are hearing from more and more women who use it externally that they're seeing some great results. And it makes sense. I mean, it's the same modalities. If someone were to try that, I would recommend that they're mindful of their comfort, because honestly, the heat on the exterior tissue, you are more aware of it. So using it internally, 12 minutes, super comfortable, very relaxing, therapeutic. Heat externally, I don't think you would go a full 12 minutes. Most women, it's about 6 or 8 minutes. So it's the heat, the vibration, and the LED lights that creates these amazing results that we're seeing. This is a medical grade silicone. And again, this is non-hormonal, non-invasive. There are no joints or crevices. The heat itself is very comfortable. The protocol, we do have women ramp up. They'll start 6 minutes for 1 or 2 sessions. Then they'll go up to 8 minutes, 1 or 2 sessions. In a perfect world, we have them at that 10 to 12 minute session time to get maximum benefit. Did you have a question, Randy?
Just a question that came through in the chat box. Someone said, is it okay if it feels like it's burning when you use it?
Burning in what way? Not if it feels like it's burning temperature-wise, then reduce your session time. It doesn't get hot enough to actually burn tissue. Some women will have a much thinner vaginal tissue, and they might be more aware of the heat, in which case we would recommend drop down on your session times. Maybe hang out at the 6 to 8 minute session time, even for a few weeks. We do hear from women who'll say, I've been using it for 7 weeks or 8 weeks, and I don't think it's getting as warm. It is. The heat is generated by those red lights. So if those red lights are on, the heat is being generated. what's happening is they're building collagen and thickening their tissue. Therefore, they are less aware of the temperature. So it's actually a good thing. Now, in terms of burning, temperature-wise, then reduce the session time. And let's say they find 6 minutes is more comfortable. Do 6 minutes, maybe 4 times a week instead of 3. Build up, do the ramp up.
Also, moving the devices slightly left or right also helps that too.
Exactly. Now, another point is if someone says, hey, it feels really warm, we ask, be sure that the light window is fully inserted. If any bit of that light window is hitting the exterior tissue, that can feel a little warm. So if someone says it feels too warm, that's really the first question we ask. Are you sure the light window is fully inserted? And that's only as far as you're inserting it. When you first look at this, you're like, holy cow, nope, no way. Because you kind of focus on this big bulbous end. That's not being inserted. You're only going to there. So we always ask, make sure the light window is fully inserted. And to your point, Randy, just adjust it a little. And once you insert it and turn it on, you're not moving it. Kick back, recline, grab your iPad, your favorite book, close your eyes, whatever's most comfortable for that 6 to 12 minute session time. But once it's inserted, you're not moving it. It will power off. You remove it, you wash it, you charge it, you're done. It's a very simple process. But in terms of burning, no, that's not a sensation anyone would want or enjoy. So make sure that the light window is inserted and maybe explore the lubricant. Our hope is they're using photonic gel, which is a water-based lubricant. It has hyaluronic acid and aloe, and we'll actually talk about it in a few slides. And it's designed specifically for use with this device. I've not heard of our lubricant causing any kind of discomfort, but everybody is unique. So maybe you have someone who can't actually use a traditional lubricant. Maybe they need to try a purified coconut oil or something. So possibly. Just like there's not one skincare serum that every skin is going to love on the face. Maybe this is someone who needs to explore maybe some other lubricant options. But my guess is thinner vaginal tissue, drop down to a lower session time for a few weeks, and or ensure that the light window is fully inserted.
And wiggle it a little bit, wiggle it around a little bit and see if that's
Yep. Yeah, just give it a little bit of a movement and find a comfortable
take that light a little bit to left or a little bit to the right.
Yep, exactly. It's USB rechargeable, which is really nice. So you have no batteries to replace. It's designed to hold a charge for 3 full 12-minute session times. I generally say charge it after each use if it's convenient, or every other use. So then it's always ready to go. If someone were to stop using it for any extended period of time, let's say suddenly they are expecting, and obviously they don't want to use this during pregnancy, go ahead and wash it and store it. But I would recommend give it a full 24-hour charge, maybe every 6 weeks or so, just to ensure the battery is happy. So here is a slide of one of our study results. And there's one benefit on here that's not listed, and I need to find out why it's not on here. We need to update this. So 95% improved wellness. At the time that this study was conducted, the FDA was still figuring us out. Again, we're first-in-class device, so it took a little time for them to fully understand and to get all of our studies understood on their end. Improved wellness is so vague. Really what that's referring to is, of course, the overall vaginal tissue health, but it's also addressing natural lubrication and decrease in vaginal dryness, which, again, for a lot of women, that is incredibly uncomfortable. 89% reported increased confidence. And lack of confidence is something that we knew was an issue for a lot of women as we age, but it came up in every study that we did. So with a lot of these changes, there's oftentimes anxiety. Sometimes there's embarrassment. It can definitely have an impact on relationships if intercourse is uncomfortable, if it's painful, if it's no longer pleasurable. That definitely has an impact on the relationship and on how a woman feels. And intimate wellness, again, it's not just about sex, it's our overall well-being. And having an improvement in intimate wellness, it has a positive impact of our overall general wellness. So increased confidence has come up in every one of our studies. And I find that interesting. And also it's fantastic that it helps in that 89% improved, increased sensation. Also, that is great. No one's going to be unhappy about that. But one study result that's not on here that needs to be corrected, 100% of the participants in this specific study reported feeling more connected to their partners.
Very important.
That's huge. That's huge. Now, this is the photonic gel that we had touched on a little bit. This is designed specifically for use with the device. That being said, we have a lot of women who report they use it as lubricant for intercourse because it's fantastic. This is incredibly concentrated. It is a water-based lubricant. It is enriched with hyaluronic acid and aloe, which is very soothing and hydrating to the tissue. It definitely helps with insertion. It has a great slip. It also increases the efficacy of the LED lights by 45%, which is fantastic. And it washes off very easily. I've tried other lubricants with it to see how they work, and they start out great. But more often than not, by the end of the session, there was almost like a gumminess or a tackiness. So they did not wash off as easily. Photonic gel is designed to wash off quickly with soap and warm water or the photonic wipes. Now, if someone has specific allergies or concerns, they have 12 lubricants at home, they want to use one of those. It's very, very critical that they use a lubricant that has absolutely zero silicone. This is a medical grade silicone device tip. So if they're using a silicone-based lubricant, it will likely degrade the tip and ruin their device. So in a perfect world, photonic gel, given it's designed specifically for use with the device, is definitely the route to go.
As far as amount of use, as far as the amount of gel, what do you describe it? Size of a dime, size of a quarter, something like that?
I would say start with the size of a dime. Personal use, my first time I used it, I had it everywhere. I did not realize how concentrated it was. It was a lubricant mayhem. It was awful. It was everywhere. Start with a very small amount. If you need to add more, add more. Some women put it on the device itself. Some women put it on their bodies, whichever is more comfortable for you. I think personally putting it on the device tip itself down to about halfway through the light window is adequate, but it does not take very much. It is highly concentrated. But again, some women do prefer to put it on themselves. So honestly, whichever process is more comfortable for you. But definitely start with a small amount, add more if you need it. So as we went into this women's healthcare journey, we started researching body products, treatments, caring for the actual vaginal tissue. And there are a lot of products out on the market. If you really look at them, they are not pH balanced. They're essentially, you're using basically body products, body wash, that's just repackaged for intimate care. And they are not pH balanced for the delicate intimate area or the tissue of the vulva. A lot of women experience vaginal dryness. As you can see in one study, nearly 65% turned down intercourse because they were concerned about odor. And itching, irritation, and odor, oftentimes that is caused by vaginal dryness. And vaginal dryness is not just internal, it also impacts the external tissue. A lot of the products that are out there, I'm a consumer, I'm a sucker for cute packaging. I mean, I'm the target audience. So I have gotten products because the packaging's great. It smells awesome. You look at the ingredients and it's chock full of detergents and toxins. So Dr. De La Torre, the OBGYN here in Seattle that we work with frequently, she spent about 2 years working on her intimate care line of products. These are all clean ingredients, non-toxic, no parabens, mineral oil, synthetic fragrance, all completely pH balanced for vaginal tissue, vulva tissue, but can also be used full body. These are amazing. And I actually noticed, Randy, this morning on one of these descriptions, the She Bar has a description of a different product. I don't know how that happened. So let's talk about She Bar because that's not correct. That is talking about a spray, deodorizing spray that we have offered. So She Bar we launched it this year. We knew it would be popular. We had no idea that women would be buying like 5, 6, 7 at a time. They absolutely love it. I was talking to an RN at one of our offices in Tennessee yesterday, and she bought 36 of them because she gives them to everyone and has them in every room, every bathroom in her house and her kitchen. It's her hand soap. This is phenomenal. It is a soap-free bar. There's no soap in it. It's triple French milled. It's super luxurious. Again, designed for the intimate area, but is an awesome body bar. But we're all washing our hands about 100 times more than we have in the past, I think, which is very drying. So it's a fantastic soap to have out at every sink because it will not dry out the tissue. It's very thick and luxurious and wonderful, but there's literally no soap in it. So this is phenomenal. Not everyone loves a bar. Some people like a liquid cleanser, and that's where our Cleanse Her comes in. And this is a very unique cleanser. Most cleansers are water-based. This is not. This is actually aloe-based, which is different. I almost feel like there's a learning curve using this particular cleanser because there are no detergents. You don't get those big, fat, thick bubbles that a lot of us are accustomed to. You get a slight little bit of a foam to it, but because there's no detergent, it is phenomenal, especially if you have dry body skin, especially in winter months and colder climates, a lot of us do. It is phenomenal. But adding more and more and more to your body poop, you're not going to get those big, thick, fat bubbles because there is no detergent in this. It is aloe-based. It is absolutely phenomenal. So if someone likes a bit more of a lather, they're going to want the bar. If they're really experiencing dry or sensitive skin of the vulva or anywhere from the neck down on the body, the cleanser is phenomenal. Revitalize Her Serum. This is our hero product. This is amazing. And this, again, is designed for the exterior tissue of the vulva. That being said, I use it on my neck every morning. I'm in my 50s. That crepiness is happening. And I actually started doing that when the whole country shut down. And I was looking at my nails. I'm like, oh, my nails are wrecked. When will I ever get another manicure? And I started putting it on my cuticles, and within like 4 days, things looked great. So it now goes on my elbows, my neck, everything. But this is just a beautiful product. How you use it and how often is up to you. I recommend at least once a day. But a lot of us will put it on after showering in the morning and then before bedtime in just a small amount. It goes on the exterior tissue, and this hydrates, it soothes the skin. For women who wax or shave and get irritation, it's fantastic. And it almost provides a barrier. So if you do frequently have irritation or itchiness, just a small amount of this, it will hydrate and soothe the tissue, but it also gives almost a barrier. And there's no stickiness or tackiness to it. It's lovely. And it's very concentrated. It's in a little dropper. You just take a little bit and dab it where you need it. But again, all of these products, OBGYN created, pH balance for the vaginal tissue, and no toxins, parabens, mineral oil, synthetic fragrance, all clean ingredients. It is not vegan. There's a small amount of beeswax, but all clean ingredients. Randy, have any other questions come in?
No. By the way,
Okay.
if you have any questions as we go along, feel free to put them in the chat box, and we'll also have a few minutes at the end too. So,
yep, absolutely. And also, feel free to, Randy, if any questions come in after, please send them my way. And if it's something that we don't have an answer to yet, like let's say it's pertaining to a specific medical concern or medical condition, we refer those to a physician. We have several OBGYNs and urogynecologists across the country that we partner with who are happy to answer those questions on behalf of the patient question. We want to make sure they're getting accurate information. So definitely please send them my way. Here are just a few reviews. On our website, we have phenomenal reviews. I encourage people to read those reviews. They are all 100% legit. Our reviews post as they come in, typos and all. But it's women sharing their feedback. And every time we get a review, it's a collective cheer in our office because it's someone saying, this has been a game changer. We recently had a woman just this last year. She and her husband had not been intimate for 10 years. because of the pain and discomfort that she experienced during intercourse. And her only options that were given to her were surgical, which she wasn't okay with. And after several weeks of use with the device, it absolutely changed everything for her. So the reviews are phenomenal. I'm a big fan of reading reviews, and I tend to go to multiple sites. If I'm making a purchase of something that's kind of a larger purchase or something I'm not familiar with, I'm a big fan of reading reviews. And again, I like to go to different sites just to kind of get a general feel of the reviews. So I do encourage women to read the reviews on our site. But if and when you actually decide to purchase a device, check in with Randy and get it from her, because when purchased from a medical office, so the devices that Randy has, those include an upgrade that if you ordered from our website or a retail site, let's say, Saks, Lovely Skin, different retailers who offer it, the upgrade will cost $99. When you purchase it from Randy, it actually is included. There's a QR code on the carton. You just download the Joylox app, you scan that QR code once. And what the upgrade means, when you scan that QR code just once, it unlocks additional features in the device. You will get 32% increased light energy or power. You will get longer session times, and you will get more vibration patterns to choose from. Now, in terms of the vibration patterns, there's different modes. It's just comfort. So one pattern or mode, it's not more effective than the next. It's personal comfort. So I always encourage women, toggle through them, try each one. Some women will find a mode that's it. That's the one they love. Some will mix it up and try different ones. But it's nice to have the option to personalize it based on your comfort. So when you upgrade, you get that higher power, the longer session times, and the additional vibration modes. And again, that is included when purchased from a medical provider. So definitely get it from Randy. But our site is a nice resource to get information, read studies, read reviews. But if you opt to purchase it from our site, you'll spend an additional $99. So it's obviously quite beneficial to get it through Randy. Plus, you also then have the guidance of a healthcare professional. So we really encourage women to get the device from their healthcare provider. Oh, here's one of your reviews.
Yes.
Well, thank you for adding that, Randy.
Oh, you're welcome. And, this is not an uncommon statement. I hear this from a majority of my patients that have bought the device. The only ones that tend to not get good results are the ones that don't use it. They keep forgetting it.
Compliance is key. Yeah, compliance is key. I mean, if you're investing in this device and you're using it once a month, you just bought a really interesting paperweight, essentially. You have to use it to see the benefits. So since we launched, we have had requests for an app to set up reminders. And Randy, you can attest to this. Prior to this last year, the only option we could recommend was, put a reminder on your phone. We always have our phones with us, put a reminder on the calendar. So we really started working on an app a while ago because we were getting so many requests, because it is hard to remember to do something until you get your routine down, until it becomes part of your habit and part of your life. So initially we were working on an app that just had the reminders. And we thought, if we're doing this, let's do it. So we have fortified this app. It's amazing. It has the pre-programmed treatment times and the reminders. That definitely encourages compliance, which results in driving better outcomes, because it will remind you, hey, you missed a session. But it also has some tremendous health education. There's a menopause diary. There's actually a community, a forum for women to connect, which is great. And it's not to talk about our device necessarily. It could be, oh my gosh, I'm having the worst night sweats in the world. What are your favorite cooling sheets? I mean, it's an area for women to connect and kind of support each other. We're all going to go through this. So let's do it together and help each other. So the app itself is phenomenal. We do find most women are embracing it and using it for everything that it offers. Like oftentimes I'll hear from women as they're in their session, they're on their phone and they're reading the health education, or they're reading some of the articles or blog posts. So they're doing it, they're reading it while they're having their session. So most women are using it for everything that it offers. We do hear from some, they're not super app savvy. It's not their thing. So they'll use it for a few weeks until they get their routine down. Now, in terms of the Bluetooth technology, it's a newer technology called BLE, which means Bluetooth Low Energy. So the Bluetooth, it is not always on. It clicks on when you start your session so that your app will log your session. It is not touching the body in any way. The Bluetooth chip is down at the very end, so it's not being inserted into the body or touching the body. So when you think about when you're on your cell phone, you're holding it to your ear, or you have your earbuds or your smartwatch or your Fitbit type health little bracelets, that is a different type of Bluetooth that is actually in contact. So the BLE, it's incredibly safe. That was our priority. So that little chip is down here. And it also doesn't track you. Like I can't look at a report of data and go, hey, Randy used her device for 9 minutes last Wednesday. It won't give us any type of personal information. It will show us how many people have downloaded the app and how frequently is it being used. It doesn't identify any user. So if someone has concerns about that, we get it. So we've made sure all of those bases are covered. But the app is phenomenal and it's in motion. You know, it's a new app. We've gotten requests from patients for certain features. So we recommend do the updates because each update, we're adding another neat feature to the app. So if someone is choosing not to use an app, we do encourage you to download the Joylox app on your phone and scan that QR code once to unlock those benefits. And kind of secret squirrel here, but Randy, on the packaging, it indicates that $99 upgrade is complimentary for the first year. It's actually forever. It's one of the app stores won't allow us to actually say it, but it's actually when it's purchased from the medical office, that upgrade remains on the device. It doesn't shut off.
That's wonderful, Kristin. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, we absolutely love the app. And we have our app team that has designed it and maintains it. They're brilliant. I don't understand most of what they say. It's a different language, but when they explain the updates and the new features, it's always something really neat. So do the updates as they come in, just like with any app updates. It's either a bug fix for most, but we're adding features as we get requests from patients. And some of them have been brilliant recommendations that have worked out really well.
Kristin, we do have a couple comments. If someone has no desire for sex, does this device help that?
Yes and no. It really depends on the reasoning behind it. Sometimes it's hormonal, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's lack of connection to their partner, and sometimes it is because it's uncomfortable and they have decreased sensation or arousal. So for those of who have gone through menopause and experienced the decrease in lubrication and sensation and arousal, it definitely helps with that. Mm-hmm. But there are a million different factors that can decrease or alter our sex drive and our libido. So I would love to say, yep, it absolutely does, but I think it will be dependent on the individual and the cause behind it. But certainly if it's uncomfortable, who would want to do it? So for those who have been experiencing discomfort, and it's amazing how much just the vaginal dryness or lack of natural lubrication, it throws things off in many ways. And that in itself can make intercourse a lot less pleasurable. So using the device and getting that increased natural lubrication definitely helps. And for most women, it does increase arousal and sensation.
Which then, of course, makes you more wanting to do it next time.
Exactly.
Positive feedback system.
Exactly.
When I was first becoming an NP in women's health and learning more about sexual health, I went to a conference with a woman here in Madison who owns a wonderful sexual resource store called A Woman's Touch, for any of you that would like to check them out. Her name is Dr. Myrtle Wilhite. And I remember her, one quote from her talk was that women really should have an orgasm once a week, whether it's by themselves or with their partner, for the best vaginal tissue and good health. Yeah. And you literally can use an outside vibrator with some direct clitoral stimulation while this is inside you and make it a little more fun, a little more interesting, kind of wake up some of those nerve endings. So, you can do different things with this that might also improve your libido. If we're being more sexual, it helps us want to be more sexual. And so there are a lot of different things behind it. Many of you are my patients already, and you know that we offer female hormone testing. Estrogen, progesterone, testosterone levels are very important. Thyroid, also very important. You need energy. You need good health in the vaginal area. You need a little bit of spark, and that chemistry and that hormonal piece is a part of that as well. So any other questions for Kristin, everybody? I think we're about done with our session with her. You've been wonderful, Kristin. Thank you. Every time I listen to you, I learn more.
Well, and you know what? This is a topic that we need to be talking about. And I think we're getting better. But I still hear from women who, they've had the same healthcare provider who they love and trust. And they've been seeing this provider for 30, 40 years, and they're still not talking about some of these issues. So we need to be talking about it. Men's sexual health is something, that's almost dinner time conversation. It's just like every other commercial. We need to be talking about our sexual health. And honestly, it has not been an even playing field for so many years. So for many men who experience changes as they age, they can pop a pill and they're ready to go. Okay, so that's great. What about your partner? What options and solutions have been there for her? But again, this is not just about sex and intimacy, it's overall well-being, because with a lot of these changes, there's that anxiety and embarrassment. And oftentimes women don't know that what they're experiencing, that's normal. There's nothing weird about it. This is what our body does. For whatever reason, Mother Nature has chosen this route for us. Some of these things we expect and some we don't expect. And to your point, Randy, hormone levels, it is amazing what can happen as our hormone levels shift and change. In personal experience, I decided, okay, if I experience another hot flash like this, I'm going to end up on the news. I'm going to freak out. This is not okay. I can't live like this anymore. And I went in and I started HRT, and I cannot believe the difference it has made. And it's not for everyone, but there are options out there, and women really need to take control of our own health. And just because we've hit a certain age does not mean that we are done with any of this. And we have options out there, and be it HRT or an in-office treatment or the amazing vFit Gold Plus or a combination of them. Talk to your healthcare provider, talk to your girlfriends, your mom, your sister, your best friend, see what they're doing. It's okay to talk about this, and we should be talking about it. This is not a taboo subject. This is important. It's our well-being. And it's time that we became more vocal and that we actually start taking control and doing things for ourselves. And most of us who are postmenopausal, who've had kids are out of the house. It's time to start focusing on us and spend that, little bit of extra on ourselves, that we will do it for our face. We'll do it for our hair, for our nails. We need to do this for our vaginas. This is all very important. It impacts our overall well-being in a really meaningful way. And again, if anyone has questions, maybe they're not comfortable doing it in this forum, please shoot the question to Randy. And again, if it's something that we already have an answer on, we will share it. If it's something that we need to do more research and get an answer from a specific healthcare provider, especially if it's pertaining to anything medical, please definitely send it our way and we'll get the correct answers for you.
Someone has asked, do we have the cleansing products? And we do not have them in stock at the moment. We will have them. So please check back.
Yeah, we can get another shipment out. Yeah, you just let me know.
Many of you may already know that we have an e-store. Finally, it took us a year to get it up and running, but it is out there. I just had to look at the price because I could not remember. It is $4.59 on our website. So that is the device cost. If you have health savings account type dollars, I think you can use those for this. So if you have flex spend, medical spend, those type of things. And yes, we will have the products. I'm excited to try the She Bar. I've not tried it yet. I love the other products. I use them.
It is amazing. And again, we knew that it would be, people would love it. It's a great product, but we had no idea. There's almost this cult following now on the She Bar. It's very exciting. We had to actually do a mass production to get it replenished. It's been phenomenal. And like I said, we had a gal yesterday order 36 of them. 36.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Kristin, thank you so much. I know you got up early to be with us. You're over in Seattle, so I greatly appreciate it. It was wonderful. Yes. And if there's any other questions for you, I will send them on your way.
Well, and for those of you there who are partaking in the game tonight, have fun. Everyone stay safe. Randy, any questions that come up, please send them my way, and I'm always available and happy to assist. So certainly don't hesitate anytime, anyone, if there's questions. Also, real quick, if and when you purchase a device, if you have any questions on it, we have an amazing customer care team, and we are always available to answer any questions or help you and get you set up.
And right now, as a special for women on this New Year event, we have cases that normally retail for $29.99 that are very nice and discreet because it has a little hole in the side that you can put the cord through and then hook it onto your computer. So a device is not sitting out so someone can see it when you're recharging it. All right, well, Kristin, hey, you have a wonderful day, dear. Good to see you,
everyone.